Hi, welcome back to Keep Heading East. I'm Murray from the YSC Cookery School. If you're joining us again, then welcome back. And if you're joining the series for the first time, you've joined us in Pakistan, which is our first stop in Asia. You can check out the main introduction to this series by clicking the on-screen link in the cards, or follow the link in the description below to our free PDF cookbook with all the dishes that we'll be covering in this series. Or if you prefer a hard copy, then there's one available as well. Now, Asian cuisine is a huge topic, and it's not surprising. It's the largest, most populated continent. Asia's home to so many cultures, and while there are some similarities, or many similarities that cross over given their historic or geographical influences, there's a lot of variation as well across the continent, each with its own interesting aspects to explore within the cuisines. For example, rice is common in most Asian cuisines, although different varieties are popular in various regions. Basmati rice is really popular on the Indian subcontinent. Jasmine rice is often found across the Southeast Asia, while long grain rice is more popular in China, and short grain rice in Japan and Korea. Another example would be curry, a common dish in South Asia, Southeast Asia and East Asia, with most curries taking their roots from the Indian subcontinent. North India, Bangladesh and Pakistan curries use mainly a yogurt base, while those in southern India, Sri Lanka and Southeast Asia tend to use coconut milk as their foundation. As this is a whistle-stop tour of global feasting, we're going to try and give you a good overall impression of Asian food and highlight some of the favourites over the next 11 episodes. So starting with Pakistan, officially known as the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, it's one of the 5th most populated countries with a population exceeding 212 million, and it has the world's second largest Muslim population. Pakistan has more than 1,000 kilometers of coastline alongside the Arabian Sea and the Gulf of Oman in the south, and bordered by India to the east, Afghanistan to the west, Iran to the southwest, and China to the northwest. Cuisine from the eastern provinces of Punjab and Sindh are characterized as highly seasoned and kind of really spicy. Cuisine from the western and northern provinces tend to be quite mild, which is typical of the flavors from its neighbors in Central and Western Asia. Now, Pakistani dishes are known for having aromatic and spicy flavors. Some dishes contain large amounts of oil or ghee, which contributes to this rich flavor. The smoky brown cardamom, green cardamom, cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg, mace, the black pepper are most commonly used in the spice bases, along with cumin seeds, chili powder, turmeric and bay leaves. And in the Punjab province, it's further diluted with lots and lots of coriander powder. There's garam masala, which is simply a blend of spices and is one of the most common spice masalas used in Pakistani dishes. Meals are often eaten with your hands, scooping up solid food and sauce with a piece of baked bread or naan or rice. Pakistanis eat wheat breads as a staple part of their daily diet, and there's quite a few different types, often prepared in a traditional clay oven called a tandoor. Now, the tandoori style of cooking is quite common throughout rural and urban Pakistan, and also quite common in India and Iran and Afghanistan. Some of these different types of bread are chapati or roti. It's the most common bread baked in urban homes where a tandoor isn't available. Chapatis are cooked over a flat or slightly sort of convex pan known as a tawa, kind of similar to a tortilla. Chapatis are made from wholemeal flour. They're quite thin because they're unleavened, or meaning that they don't have any yeast in them. There's naans, which in the national language of Pakistan, Urdu, just means bread. Unlike chapatis, naans are slightly thicker and typically leavened or raised with yeast, mainly made with white flour. And again, naans aren't often made in the home because they require a tandoori oven as well. There's lots of different varieties of naans throughout Pakistan. Some are simple and some are stuffed with all sorts of things. And this kind of varies a little bit from region to region. Each region has a speciality. Naan is a very versatile bread, and it's eaten with almost anything. There's paratha, the flat layered bread that's made with ghee or cooking oil. It's generally cooked on a tawa. These perthas are very similar to a pastry dough. They come in a sort of plain layered version, but also many stuffed versions as well. Puri is the breakfast bread made from white flour and it's fried, typically eaten with sweet semolina or gravy, and it's made out of chickpeas and potatoes. Puri is a fairly urban concept, not really a part of rural cuisine anywhere in Pakistan. Punjabi tandoor is traditionally made from clay. It's kind of a bell-shaped oven, which can either be set into the earth or it can sit above the ground. And it's fired with wood or charcoal, and they can reach temperatures of up to about 480 to 500 degrees. Now, in India and Pakistan, tandoori cooking was traditionally associated with the Punjab. It was pretty common to have a communal tandoor in the centre of the village, much like it was in many European countries, when everybody would come and use the same tandoor to do their cooking in. Now, if you're interested and you're experienced enough to make a safe job of it, then there's plenty of videos on YouTube that show you how to make one at home. It's actually pretty straightforward, and I've linked to one of the better videos that shows you how it's done. As with any kind of wood-fired cooking or barbecue cooking, it does require a little bit of common sense, so make sure that you keep it safe. And if you aren't interested in building your own tandoori oven, you can always have a go at making naans in a heavy cast iron frying pan, or in a really hot oven. This week there's 2 entries into the Keep Heading East cookbook. One is a Peshwari naan, one of my favourites, which is a stuffed naan with an almond and coconut filling. Sometimes they have sultanas and all sorts of them, but this one is a pretty purist Peshwari naan with almond and coconut. The other recipe is for a Nihari Gosht curry. Now, Nihari is a deliciously smooth flour-based stew with curry, slow-cooked mutton and a ton of spices. This mutton Nihari recipe takes about 4 hours to cook, depending on the cut of mutton that you use, but it's really easy to put together. Now, traditionally, Nihari used to be cooked all night long and then served for the Mongol kings of Delhi at breakfast after their morning prayers. Now, apparently it's a dish that's so good it's converted more vegetarians in Pakistan over to meat eaters than any other dish. Now, Nihari is mostly made with mutton or goat meat. The shank portion is the preferred cut, but it can also be made with chicken or lamb or beef as well. Whatever you choose to use, it should be a slow cooking cut and ideally on the bone for that added flavour. Now, the other dish that I'm quite keen on that comes from Pakistan is a blended stew called Haleem. There are many varieties, but they're generally made with barley, lentils and meat. You can follow a link on screen in a moment for a great recipe for a chicken Haleem by Food Fusion. It's a quick and simple meal. It's ideal for a weeknight dinner or a weekend lunch. So that's it for this stop on our Keep Heading East tour of global cuisine. I hope you've enjoyed it. Links are on screen now for the videos I mentioned earlier if you'd like to see a little more from the region. And remember, for our subscribers, there's a fantastic cookbook to accompany this series. So if you haven't already, hit subscribe and grab yourself a free PDF copy of our cookbook, or if you prefer a hard copy, the links are there as well. Thanks for watching. See you soon.